are just
Okay.
are.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Communitas America is the name of the
Okay.
nonprofit, but Hayground is
Okay.
our physical space. We're at the Janus Properties. We're in that building.
Oh.
You know, the main building, we're in the malt building.
In the meat building or in the one across from it?
We're in the malt building.
The big one, the long one, the malt building.
The malt building, yeah. We're so Harlem is in the
Yeah, I know,
main building.
I know.
We're just.
You're
Thank you.
correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, yeah.
You have a guest online that's done, Jada Williams, who might want to address her tonight.
Was she one of the committee? I didn't know. who's on
No,
the
she
committee.
isn't committee, she's a guest.
She's a guest, all right, well, we're doing so much so far, so. Part of the stuff that, well, it won't hurt you guys to learn about it. Anybody hear about the Battle of Harlem Heights? Give me y'all in Harlem, you hear about that, Harlem. The Battle of Harlem Heights. When you're on Amsterdam Avenue, it's either end is up in the hill, the Manhattanville is the one down in the middle. And forgive me, because I'm whole, can't remember the name now, that I'm running till I have it in there somewhere. But I think it was General Grant, they won the war by the fact that they were up on the hill and everybody was down, and it just came down and wiped them out. So that became the Battle of Harlem Heights. It became very, at the time, it was very famous. And back in my day in school, it was very famous. In your day is another story. So, you know, pass you up. But that Battle of Harlem Heights, that's what was really going on Amsterdam Avenue. Went on. Okay, so that took care of that. Social media, hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight was a thing that, let me see. Is that the same one? Let me just double check. I think it is, but let me double check. Oh, that was the other one. And this one, yeah, this is the one hidden in plain sight.
Oh, I was at the, you know, the malt building is right across from the West Harlem
Yeah.
Triangle,
Yeah.
the Arts Alliance, which is in the Tasty Building. I don't know if you know these buildings, Manhattanville factory buildings.
It's a
I went to
Manhattanville
that, yeah.
business, it's 126th Street between Amsterdam and the next release.
Yeah.
So you know where the block divides out like this in the middle over there?
Yeah.
That's where we're stuck on, that's what we're talking about, and that's where the Manhattanville thing was.
And they had this history, I
Uh-huh.
remember reading it, I went, they had it going for about a month, I think, I'm not sure.
Probably know what's the name, I forget his name,
Scott,
no, the other one,
Jared.
Jerry.
Jared.
Jerry.
The Janus Properties owns, I think it's 5 buildings there,
Yeah,
and they've been renovating them, and the owners is Scott and Jared.
the original buildings, they rebuilt them up to their original existence. And the Landmark Society of New York told them, New York City told them, they were not going to landmark anything north of 110th Street.
What does it mean, a landmark?
Well, when you landmark it, you have, it's a historical value, you can't tear it down, you can't change it, you gotta leave it in its original state, or completely back into it in the original state. So when you landmark it, becomes a historic thing, like a museum might be a historic thing, you understand? So you landmark it so that nobody can knock it down or reach it and change it around.
And they each have a history, the building, the Mink building. They really were able to preserve. We're not in that building. We're in the malt building, which part of it is new because it was so bad condition, is what the landlord said.
Let me go back to the Mink building, because I've been with them from the time they came.
Yeah.
The Mink building, when they first bought the Mink building, we went in there, the entire building, every single floor had mink coats that had rotten on the hangers.
That's why it's called.
It was the Mink Building years ago.
Okay.
Very rich people would come with their limousines, because I was a young girl, I used to go watch them. Come with their limousine, drive in the driveway, get their mink coat to wear and wear it to wherever they were going. Well, when the thing was over, they went home and sent the coats back with the chauffeurs. But the mink building was just that. It stored mink and fur coats, mainly mink coats at the time, but mink and fur coats. And that's how it got the name.
So they're renovating it into what?
Well, now there's So Harlem, which is a fashion incubator, is in the space. There's Harlem Biospace. It's a professor, Sam, from Columbia University, who has a bio life sciences incubator space. So it's they're kind of calling it West Harlem Innovation Collective. And we're part of that.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to introduce?
No,
Well,
tell me
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. I didn't know
yeah.
you were there.
So we're in the malt building and I work for Communitas America and we run a business startup accelerator. So we're also in that innovation space. We have a 10-week accelerator program and we go from March to June. We do 2 a year, March to June in the spring, and then September to beginning of December in the fall. And it is a accelerator program focused, we're agnostic about sector, which is very unique in New York City because most of the accelerator programs are in a lane, which is Mount Sinai has their medical device incubator. Of course, Google has their tech incubator, but EGF accelerator in Midtown is education. Blue Ridge Labs, which is part of Robin Hood Foundation in Brooklyn, that's tech. So everybody is in a lane. So we get a mix of entrepreneurs. We describe our entrepreneurs as kind of community businesses. Not all of them are, but majority, I would say, are. So Diego opened a tailor shop in Brooklyn. Adrian opened a bookstore in Queens. So it's we support those type of businesses, and you could say it's kind of business fundamentals 101. Our curriculum starts with customer discovery. Who's your customer? We go into your business model, then your financial model. We go into marketing, accounting, and we have partners. So we have wonderful Midtown law firm partners who provide free legal. They're not just consultation, but representation. So mostly the businesses, they need their LLC set up. They don't pay the fees, but they'll cover their legal to, to file everything. They'll trademark their name and logo, which is something you need to do. And usually most of the entrepreneurs, they have a physical product or a service that they're selling and they need contracts. Often they'll just pull something from Google, but it's not really tailored to their business or mitigate risks to their business. So the lawyers will also draft like a template for them.
Do you need to apply?
Yes, yeah.
And
And one other thing I wanted to say, we have very good relationship with New York City Small Business Services, SBS. So we have like a direct line for them because many of our entrepreneurs are not aware of the MWBE certification. So that's the minority or women-owned businesses. And if they qualify for that, then they should take advantage of that. Or they need help with like getting their vendor license for New York City. So if you're gonna get a contract with New York City, you need a vendor license, and NYCSBS helps with that. But it is an application. They open up a month, like a month and a half before. So we'll open up in the beginning of February, let's say, the application for the spring cohort, and that'll be the next one. We spread it around. I told Akil we'll put it here so he can spread it in his network. Akil works here. But we send it to all of our partners to put out on their newsletters. It's in our newsletter. So if you sign up for our newsletter, Communitas America, you will get a notice that our application is open.
And can you only sell products to New York City?
What?
Like, if I'm a business owner, I can only be a part of the program if I sell stuff in New York.
No, no, our primary market, we're a nonprofit, so we have a board. We're here to serve New York City. 50% of our entrepreneurs come from the Bronx because there isn't really other accelerators. There's one other one, Tim Gamery has one up there now, that's serving the Bronx market. And then 20% come from Harlem, but that also includes East Harlem. And but as I mentioned, those two examples, if you're an entrepreneur and you wanna make the trek up from Brooklyn or Queens, we accept it. We have 2 sessions a week in the evenings because some of the entrepreneurs, it starts as a side hustle. So they're not, maybe for insurance reasons, whatever. But we've had entrepreneurs who have come in with an idea stage. I think of Gia, who now has gotten venture capital equity funding. And we have entrepreneurs who now have 8 employees. It's a hit or miss. I mean, it's not hit or miss. We track a lot of information about the businesses, and 77% are active businesses after 1 year, which is a pretty good benchmark because sometimes it's less than that. It's like 50, they say 1 out of every 2. Some of the entrepreneurs, their focus is that will be their main business. I think of Isaiah, he has like a flooring business, sanding business in the Bronx. So it's kind of very diverse businesses. But for those who it remains a side hustle, it's not an occasional side hustle. It's a very important supplemental income for the family or for that entrepreneur. We look at, there's 4 criteria that we look at when applications come through. One is how can it benefit the community, the neighborhood that it's in, because we want to look at how it has a beneficial impact for the neighborhood that wherever the business is going to be. Some of the businesses are not brick and mortar because some of them are service based. We look at who the entrepreneur is. So if someone came in and said, I want to open a bakery, but they have no experience in the bakery industry, we might tell them, oh, get some experience, some understanding of it first, and then maybe come back. We've had entrepreneurs who we didn't accept in one cohort, but we accepted in another. And then we look at the overall just business model. And that's okay if you don't have all the details worked out, but we just want to know that the entrepreneurs have thought through themselves how this is going to be, an ongoing, because our hope is that the businesses don't close. We want them to be, open. And then the fourth and final is just the financial viability of the business. Does it make sense? You don't have to have traction. We do take early stage entrepreneurs. So some of them whose businesses are already started come through our cohorts. And we have 270 small entrepreneurs or small business owners who have gone through our cohorts. We've had 15, 77% are open. In CB9, we have 11% of the 270 live in CB9. 14%
Live and operate or just
live, and then 14% have their businesses
Gotcha.
physically in CB9, because that could be 2 different things.
Yeah.
We have someone who lives in East Harlem, but their business is at CB9. So we track by zip code where the entrepreneur lives and where the business will be. What we found is that they become service providers for each other. So it's really becoming a community. So I think of Janet with So Harlem. Her son Kai went through our accelerator program, and
Okay.
he has a brick and mortar, he has a graphic design studio. But we have entrepreneurs from the Bronx who will use him because he's kind of part of the community, so they become service providers. So it's been really interesting. We launched in 2018, and now we have a physical space in West Harlem, in these buildings that you were talking about. Were the malt building, and we were there from March 2023. And as you're going through the malt, is right next to the Mink and across from the tasting.
That you, okay, I didn't
Yeah.
realize you were there that long. I'm saying,
Yeah.
what? Okay, go ahead, yeah.
So we're in the malt building, and any of the entrepreneurs who are going through the accelerator program have free access to the space during it. After, it's a paid membership, but we give discounts if you graduated from our accelerator program. Some people don't need space if they have a brick and mortar, but some people have service-based industries need somewhere to work from. We also have members who are not part of the accelerator program. You know, Citizens Committee for New York City. They give grants for small businesses, so very much aligned. They just celebrated their 50th year. They work from our space. Like they're there in the space. So we also do rent out the space, so somebody can rent out. We've had CUNY use the space. We've had like the Black NBA New York City chapter has rented the space. It's a nice space. The only caveat we have with renting the space, we've had people come asking, can they have a wedding there, a birthday party? It's not an event space for that. So as long as there is a business aspect,
Business, yes.
you know,
Yeah.
then we allow it, but we don't want to be. It's not really set up for a wedding or something like that. But people ask, and we have a wedding there. We've had over 700 events there, and we have members can have events. So it's usually like community convenings, workshops, trainings. Some of the events that we put on that we're the host, community, are always open to the public, but our members may have a closed event because they might be doing something
Right.
very specific to their members. But I would say at least half of the member events are open to the public. So if you're on our, you know, like there's pop-up shops that happen. I think one's happening in a week or two. Natasha's having one there. And it's open to the public. So
Where is this again?
it's in the malt building. We're on the 5th floor.
Oh, you know, you're saying market, my brain is saying market, so different location, okay, I got you.
You know, we have some entrepreneurs that do pop-up events, you know, where so it's maybe home-based businesses that are coming together to sell certain things, you know, from maybe it's kind of aligned or something, but yeah, so we just wanted to introduce, and we got a grant from the West Harlem Development for 7,500 and to incubate 5 businesses based in this CB9, because we are open to the, you know, we really focus on New York City, but to be honest, we've had some, I think of like Lucas, who's from Yonkers, and now he has his third brick and mortar for kids with autism. He does different. His son had autism, so he has these. His first one was in Yonkers, and that's when he went through us. But he's open too in the Bronx, and I think of like Marcellus he's an urban beekeeper in Newark, New Jersey. So long as he wants to come.
How did the person you said that raised venture equity?
Yeah.
Did the program help with that?
We do. We have a lot of connections in the city. That's not necessarily our in our wheelhouse, but we can connect. And she actually she got 50,000 and she got that money through a connection we made for her. But for example, have you heard of A16Z? You know, Andrew Horowitz, yeah. It's a large venture capital firm from,
I have heard.
yeah, from Silicon Valley. They opened an office here in New York City. Right now, they're focusing on health. So medical, bio, life sciences, health. So those are the only businesses that they're putting any equity into. But they did their big announcement at our space because it was kind of this West Harlem Innovation Collective. It was the founder and director of Harlem Biospace, which is in the Mink building. Professor Sam, he's at Columbia University. He is connected with them and he wanted to do an announcement, but he doesn't have the space. We have a very flexible space so it can open up and we had like 85 people come. So it was very informative. It was an introduction to, you know, what they're looking for, what their requirements are. And there were people who came from Brooklyn, from Queens. It wasn't just this, you know, this neighborhood. Yeah, it wasn't just from here. But so that's how we kind of collaborate with them.
So the organization's Communitas
America, yeah.
Okay. And do you have a website?
We do. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would recommend sign up for our newsletter. And, you know, if you're welcome, you know, you could buzz in and, you know, we're happy to give you a tour, you know, if you want to see the space, but see what event, because we post everything on the website, like, oh, here's, you know, the events, what's happening. If it's a closed event, then we don't post it because it's not open for everyone. That A16Z was open and there were people who didn't even know about Communitas or even they didn't graduate from our accelerator program. They just wanted to learn about A16Z and showed up. And then, you know, we also introduced Communitas, but this is that area is becoming a very like innovation center. So it's kind of interesting what's happening. And the Gotham Foundry is it's also life sciences, but also sustainable textiles. It's funded through NYC EDC. So it has, I think they're giving 25 million, but it's a collaboration between CUNY, City College, and Columbia. And
I was gonna say, that's a lot of.
it's a lot of money, but they're gonna do it.
Yeah, between the two, it's not that much,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
But they're gonna do it, they're gonna operate from the
And
Tasty
yeah.
building until Columbia builds their new engineering school, then it's gonna be housed here. But they're gonna, it should open by next year. It's gonna be temporarily, but you know, building a new building, it could be there for 5 years. And then, CUNY ASRC, the Advanced Science Research Center, do you know of them?
Yeah.
They have a lab with a lot of machines. So sometimes entrepreneurs who are in that really science sector, they come through us for maybe
Right,
just
exactly,
learning about
yeah.
business. But then we say, the one who got venture capital, Gio, we said, you need to go up to CUNY ASRC because they have machines that you can use and space you could use.
What was her idea?
She's an immigrant. Her mom worked like 6 days a week, the way she describes it, 10 hours a week in nail salons. And the nail salon, so she's an Asian woman, and her sisters used to help after school in the salons. And the nail polish that's the mainstream nail polish is so harmful. And her mom got quite sick. If you're breathing that in
I
all
didn't
day.
realize that,
Yeah, it's very harmful chemicals are in it. So Gia went to CUNY, City College, and she studied biology. And she came up with the trick is trying to come up with a nail polish that's water soluble, but that will stay on.
What?
Because, you know, if those harmful chemicals is what keeps it on the nails. But she came up with something. And,
I wanna know more about that.
it's a fascinating story. I mean, I think she's ready to really scale, but she came up with materials that she developed in the lab at ASRC. So once she went through our space, we said, well, you need to be testing, like,
Mhm.
you need to go up to them and we can do the introduction for you, but go up there and learn, you have free use of the space. But what's interesting is that the Defense Department is interested now in her, because if you could paint your nails, you could paint airplane engines. I don't, it could be multiple. She wasn't thinking beyond just nail polish. So it's called a new material,
Right.
ANEW material. And yeah, we're pretty proud of, she really has potential to really take off. But when she came through, she didn't know anything about, she came in at the idea stage. She knew what she wanted to do. She said, I want to come up with a nail polish that removes these harmful chemicals, but I need to come up with a compound that will make it stick on and, also be marketable that,
Mhm.
consumers would want, would want to do.
Multiple colors. multiple
Yeah,
shapes,
yeah,
everything
yeah.
like
So that's
that.
what she
Yeah.
did. Yeah. So we just kind of keep spreading, it out. So you're welcome. We all work a hybrid, but somebody is always there. We work a hybrid schedule. I'm usually there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So
And where are you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
I'm at our space. We work a hybrid schedule, so
You
that
tell me that space again, you're over here, right?
we're
With
in
Jerry and them.
with Jerry and Scott. Yeah. So if you ever, the whole team, we work 3 days in the office and 2 days from home. So, we kind of set our schedules
yeah.
like that.
And so is the event space at the malt building, is that on the fifth floor? Or
Yeah, it's in the malt building. And I don't know if you guys have seen this, Google this, because this is fascinating. Our team
Mhm.
is, saying, oh, we should have a day where we practice this. But if you Google, it's called Mink Paddle Club, but paddle is Padel. And
Yeah, me paddle, yeah, okay.
I don't know why it's called Mink, because it's not in the Mink building, it's in the Malt building, but it's one of the newest tenants there. And in the back, there's a huge property behind. They built,
They're in the building behind the me.
yeah, they built two paddleball outdoor
That's
courts
interesting, yeah.
with lights. And so it's if you look it up, you'll see Instagram feeds and
Mhm.
different feeds about it. It's the first public courts in all of Manhattan, but it's not pickleball, it's paddleball. So it's have either of you played pickleball? Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah, it's a hard ball, it's like a lacrosse ball. So it bounces a lot. But paddleball is more like a tennis ball where it's soft and kind of cushiony. So it shows a little slow, but it's all glassed in and you could play off the wall. So it's kind of like racquetball. Right from our window, we look out at these two new courts and we see people playing now all the time and we see how they'll use the walls, how they do it. I don't know all the rules, but it looks the rules seem similar to pickle or tennis that, there's a net there and, you got to hit it over, but they use the walls. So that's the newest tenant for Jerry and Scott. Yeah, the Mink Paddle Club. And they have a retail shop also where they're selling branded clothes
At the
and
same
things.
location?
At the same location, yeah, same clothes, but I guess you could go in. I don't think it's a membership. I don't know. Abriel went in to go check it out. I didn't get all the details, but I think you could go in and like, that's the way you go in and then they're back and exits to these new paddleball courts. But they're pretty impressive what they've been there. So a lot's happening in this area for sure.
Jerry used to pay you.
I
Because
know.
I didn't know all that.
Jerry is-
But I didn't know, but had to go ahead, and I was there when Jerry and them started in the basement of the building across the street, the little building.
Yeah.
And they bought the Mink building, then they put them in, then that's how they got it all. I've been
Who
getting
is
that
Jerry?
wrong, so.
Who is,
Jerry and Scott are Scott Metzner is one. I don't know Jerry's last name.
Jerry, don't do that, Jerry.
They are the owners. They
They
own
own-
all
they
they're
own-
a small real estate firm, you know, they're not those
They're-
massive ones
They're
here
a
in New
small
York.
real estate firm that owns 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Two
Well,
city blocks.
But they're not like, who's the big one who owns 60,000?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but
you
they're
know,
2 blocks.
yeah,
from us,
but
like,
they're-
other states.
They're trying to fix them up. They've been getting a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of,
Good,
it's picked up
good.
where people are coming through because our executive director has said, like, yeah, Jerry, Scott, like, it's mostly Scott.
Mhm.
Scott's at he works from the
Right.
base, that Jerry isn't there all the time, but
Jerry
she's,
teaches, Scott's there all the
Yeah.
time, yeah.
yeah, and she always says, oh, you wanna show, like, you could bring anyone through, cause it's also a co-working space, so it's not, you know,
Mm.
you could bring people through, but he shows people like our space, so hopefully they'll start to fill it up. I was gonna say that, CUNY Advanced Science Research Center is a finalist for NYCEDC's Green Light RFP. And that's also an incubation space focused on like science and research and all of that. But if they get it, they're opening in the Tasty building.
Oh, I was
On
gonna
the
say, where
second
were they
floor.
gonna open it
Yeah,
at?
on the second floor, yeah,
right,
if they
right.
get it, but I think the announcement's coming out in 2 weeks, so.
Was one of the things for that building was small office rental space. Where, because when I got picked for the person that was down on Wall Street, I said, yeah. Almost about this, but our address is 70-something Wall Street. So that's what happens there. So the address is correct, but her office space. And then they have a general meeting room, so it works. Just so you know how small businesses,
Yeah,
Manhattanville Business District, yeah.
and that's an important thing that you mentioned, because for our members, having a like professional mailing address, which isn't tied to their living address, is really important in many
important.
ways. And so, and you know, there's a full service mail service, so like it's they can get things shipped there, and like that is a benefit. But I think I'm gonna have to head out.
do you think I could
Yeah.
add one thing?
Yeah.
So Ms. Stone, we talked last month about hosting the spring. Was it the convention for all the small businesses?
Oh, what's the name?
Let me put, I'll put my email, my work address email.
Yeah, cause I'm wondering if it would be a,
I don't, I should, I know, I should.
Fire you. Can't reach, I would fire you.
I know, we don't have business cards, but usually, like, I don't know, people just come.
But no, because I need to reach you because you gotta get to the general board meeting. Not, there's one coming up, but that's the executive board. The general board is the whole community, and that's where you need. to
Well,
get.
I can, you know,
The one
it's
at the
easy for me
forum.
to walk up, I can check in with Hakil. I do have office hours, cause we also do like
Well, you
one-on-one.
do have one, okay, how do I reach you at your office?
No, what I meant office hours for the entrepreneurs, like if
Oh,
they
to
need,
come into.
if they,
not
you
the
know, if they
meeting,
want me to like review their financial plan or something,
Yeah.
like
yeah,
we set aside, and
yeah.
I just don't know if,
Yeah, you need to come to general board. Yeah, which is the third Thursday in the month,
third Thursday, month,
and
okay.
every month, yeah.
I will, yeah, I can check in, Hakil will know
Yes,
all the
yes,
dates, right? Yeah.
yes.
I'll,
Mhm. Oh,
I do, I think I have to get back before having our legacy
You're
dinner.
gonna have to give me a contact right now.
I'll share, I think I got it, I'll share with you after.
And your name is it? sorry. No.
Miss Dunn,
Miss Dunn, Miss Dunn,
His first
okay.
name is Marita, but everybody says Miss Dunn.
Okay, Miss Dunn, very nice to meet you, and very nice to meet you too. You want me to,
Yeah. Here, right there, that's so scared. I was gonna talk about this.
I use that,
Mhm.
just to put.
In plain sight, this is over there by the Monroe, 450 West 126th Street.
Yeah, that's right
Over there
across.
by Jerry, and then this was, Manhattan Road Hickman, but that was part of today's meeting that we didn't have. So. This turned out to be quite different than I expected. Nothing before we sleep through this chair tonight. Mhm.
So it's Communitas America, so it's not on Edward Greenwood, it's eGreenwood@communitasamerica.org.
It's so beautiful, yeah,
Straight
and we thankful for
forward.
that.
I like that, that's it.
And I don't know why I thought I saw this name somewhere before, maybe it was tonight. Communitas America.
Yeah, we,
Hmm.
yeah, Hakil was cause I was saying when, we wanna come and,
Mhm.
he let me know there was a meeting tonight, but I don't know if maybe he didn't know that. No
Well,
one can make it.
let's not, because there's not one committee member here tonight, this is the second night in a row. I mean, second meeting in a row, right? Cause you were the other one, there was none of them there that meeting.
I think there was
One
one.
lady, the lady that, she did the minutes, she came from the community board, I forget it, she's the treasurer or the secretary.
Yeah, there's a couple, and then there's one online too. There's like one online.
But the board, that's only two that I could think of,
Mhm.
the committee board
It's
members.
been a pleasure meeting
Same
you.
here,
Yeah, we'll
meeting
see
you.
Yeah.
My
And your
pleasure.
name is Wayman.
Yeah.
And I'll make
Brandon,
sure that
okay.
the third Thursday in the month at the forum.
Third
the Columbia
Thursday in the
Forum.
month. I'll check in with him and I'll
Yes.
just align my schedule, but he would know,
Yes.
right?
Oh, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely, he'll be there, so he better know.
Oh, okay. I'll, yeah, maybe next week I'll come over and just coordinate, like, figure out the schedule.
Right, okay,
All right,
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So. I am going to fire. So we do. I have committee members that don't show up and don't call and don't. He's my only other committee, right? He's always here. When he's not here. And they're appointed to the board.
You want to go to the old and new business?
No,
Okay.
I wanna go home.
Okay.
We need to do something interesting that, before it gets cold, it's gonna get cold. But actually, there's not, the fact that you're now gonna have more involvement with the Marine. With the Manhattanville Business District, which is what I told Jerry and them to name their area. So that it would have a distinct 1, 2, 3 right away. Where it is, the Mink building and this building and that building, so look, just Manhattanville Business District. The Mink building, cause I told you the story of the Mink building where they wasn't gonna. Were you here when I was saying that they went to landmark it and they wouldn't landmark it cause it was in Harlem, so. Among other things. But we'll go from there, and yeah. But it's very interesting to see, cause over there it's a whole nother world, that you go into that thing and it's spam, it's this side and that side and behind this and what's the name, he's building a park for the summer. All the way down further, so with the end of the Mink building, that side there. Have you been there?
I haven't.
Oh, wow, anyway, the Mink building ends like a V like this and goes down, and he's gonna put, Jerry and them said they're gonna put a block down there. Yeah, so that,
So. Jerry comes to this meeting and asks that he wants to build a park behind the Mint building, is that what goes on?
Jerry,
You said Jerry's the real estate developer, right, the owner, right? He owns
yeah,
it.
yeah.
How does everybody know about the stuff he's trying to build?
Oh, well, it depends on what they're building. If it's economic development, then they come to that meeting. If it's, food and drink or something, because they have enough going on, there. And then a lot of people do know about it, but I wanted them to do, but there's no sense now. It's almost a year and a half, 2 years now, we had a full committee. I wanted them to host the committee for the economic development in, not the Mink building, and the one next to it. The Mink is, what's that, the new building on the floor, I can't think of it.
The malt that he's in, or no?
That's not Corbin, maybe it's called the
Tasty.
Malt or whatever, but the new building, I call it because it was a bakery. The new building, so not where the Mink is, but across the street on the new side where the little park area is. Okay, y'all don't know the, well, I'm not supposed, anyway. Anyway, that's what I wanted them to do, and I still want them to do. But I don't have a committee, second meeting. You know, 'cause you see all those names up there, you don't see none of those people, right? So, it's okay. Unfortunately, I'm a co-chair. The co-chair with me went to visit her home in Africa, and she got sick and they had to hospitalize her in Africa. It was, oh man, so she's officially excused from all meetings until next year. So I don't even know if Joyce is back to Manhattan, because she lives in West Harlem, or if she's still in Africa. I don't know where. But, so that's why you only see me, there's a co-chair with me. But still, this business of no presentation from the committee members, as far as I'm concerned, kick them off. Because more is done with the two of you than them, and they're absent. What'd they learn? They don't know he exists, so, you know, it's a waste of everybody's time, including mine. You either come to the meeting or you don't. I thank you both for being here. I am going to get up. Since I'm not only tired of being at home, just want to go home with something. But West Harlem is really, surprising to people who don't know what's going on in West Harlem. West Harlem is no joke.
And then is there any update on the Metro Transit? Metro Transfer Station? Marine Transfer Station?
Oh, well, no, because nobody talked to them.
But you said it's not with the, last meeting, I remember you mentioned that it's not with the Department of Sanitation anymore, it's with.
No, it's with the city. Well, if it's not, by the time we move around, it's probably gonna be in the ocean. Because we're talking about, do you know the Hudson River over here? I don't
I
know.
know.
I mean, have you seen it? You know that building all the way at the end where the sanitation used to take the garbage to you? Okay. When you're at the West Harlem Piers and you look north, you're gonna, in fact, somebody painted, have you been down there lately?
Yeah, a lot of graffiti.
Somebody painted that wall gorgeous, I mean, gorgeous wall on the Marine Transfer Station. But there was a company who was really going to build it up and everything, but the pier underneath was rotting. And of course, if they're gonna build and put their money in the part above, they're certainly not gonna deal with the pier below. So we tried to get sanitation to get involved in it, get economic development, fix the pier below. And the people that came was not just what's the name, the MTB, More Than Just Parking, I think is a nonprofit organization. They
I'm
got a
sorry,
lot-
what's it called?
I'm sorry?
Board and just parking. What was?
More Than Just Parking,
Okay.
yeah. But they're they have they're all parking lot people. They own different parking lot spots all over the city. And their nonprofit is More Than Just Parking. And they put up fantastic presentations 2 years ago now to fix that space. Unbelievable what they wanted to. They were even going to put a real, escalator, the outside of it in glass, that you could be in it with or without a wheelchair, and it would take you up. Like, you know, I say, you'll see. And the ferry was going to go from Jersey to here. So it meant all these colleges would have,
I didn't. What happened?
because the pier underneath is rotten, and the
Oh, so it was more than just parking that wanted to rebuild it, but.
more than just parking went to the top, the area above the water.
So you have to get a Department of Sanitation to.
Well, sanitation, they ain't there no more, they ain't wanna bother with it.
So who's it in
Economic
possession
develop-
of
huh?
right now? Who owns the property?
Technically, if sanitation gives it up, it would only go, it either goes nowhere and rots in the ocean, or it goes to economic development. And we tried to get economic development to be more involved in it, because it would eventually pay for itself.
Right. Okay,
Yeah, economic development,
and that's a
Sanitation,
New York City,
sorry,
that economic development is a New York City.
the city of New York, yes.
How are we connected? Are we connected?
We're the city, the community board 9, we're connected to the word community, government,
Got it.
okay? So that if you call, you call. If I call, community board 9 call, different level.
Right, right.
Okay? Because the community boards are supposedly set up to be small, local government agencies. All right, so if I call from economic development, that means that the economic development of the city of New York is supposed to better well answer me.
And, question about the sanitation department, so did they not wanna do it because they have to finance reconstruction of the entire bottom?
Two
floor?
things, one, it was too expensive for their budget, and two, they wasn't putting anything in there anymore. Because so much has changed, and when they first started, no, let me go before that, when, what's that big park at 145th Street? They used to do all the garbage up there.
That's the Riverside Park.
I'll think of it, but anyway, so 145th Street and the water, it's all. Because what happened, it's got the state gentleman's name, but it was the city mayor that built that big park. She built it, I knew, because I knew her mother, she built that park. When she was there, she built, and that's why it's so big and it's got so much in it. Everything is in that park. Everything you can imagine is in that park. And like right now, they're setting up ice skating, I believe, because I saw the kids trying to go
Right.
there. They have, it is unbelievable. That park is, when the state, it was a city function. When the state came, just came on a little visit, there was, oh, hell no. Just gotta be state. Because
Right.
it was a city thing.
Yeah, it is
And
a
that's
state
how
park.
it got a state name, but
Interesting.
the gentleman had nothing to do with it. In fact, I forget his name now, his office is still in Central Hall. Well, how he got here is his brownstone that he owns is in West Hall.
So a couple of days ago, it's like some company called the Bowery Community something. They came to the Health and Environment Committee. They were talking about they went to, or they were in the process of purchasing but it wasn't really complex. It was just a really long process to purchase city.
Right.
Is that the same type of process that would have to be undergone to buy the bottom of this pier,
Yes,
to rebuild it? In
Yes.
order to,
yes.
so this nonprofit would not be able to, like, they'd have to go through an entire process to
Yes,
purchase the bottom.
because the bottom line, it's a government agency that owns it. All right, so the government has to approve it. First approve the purchase, they have to know that that company or whoever is able to do it correctly, because they're gonna get blamed. You understand? If it goes wrong, not sanitation, economic development is gonna get blamed. That means all the people that got elected and put in is gonna be all over the news with what they did not do. You understand how far this is? Because a lot of people don't understand what the community board is. I didn't when I got on it. I was forced on it. I didn't want to, please. But my boss's daughter said, you will get on. And that's when I found out, because she was the mayor at the time, that's when I found out, oh, that's what these people do. This is the small city of New York. Anything you want from the city of New York involved here, done.
So how does like Mark Levine make decisions around like what gets?
How did Mark Levine?
How does he like make decisions around what gets revamped and what doesn't? Like, does he have to consult CD?
It comes through committees. Yeah. And then yet, basically, it's not so much what he asks for, it's usually what we ask for. So any politician is smart enough to come to one of the board committees and say, this is what I think we should do, or this is what I would like to see. And then the committee sends it through all the stages and back to that person, because now it's official.
How do you organize like what's the top priority?
How do you organize?
What's like the top priority of your committee versus the bottom priority of your committee? Like,
Oh, you take a vote.
gotcha, okay.
Take a vote.
So what's the priority now?
Well, you see all the members I have in this committee, so what would you like?
So, but what I'm guessing, so you have a bunch of committees though, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole list of, yes.
So then, I'm guessing like there's a committee president, I guess the chairs of this committee. Each other committee has a chair.
Each committee has at least, they used to only have one chair. Now almost every committee has two chairs.
Yeah.
Okay, and the committees, like this, the one, the big meeting up here is a separate committee. I was surprised. I thought that's where we were gonna be.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then they set the agenda of what they want. And if the committee members get it approved by the committee chairs.
Yep.
Who's usually at the meeting anyway. Then it gets submitted in. And if the chair of the board, for some reason, don't think it sounds quite right or wants a little change, then the chair of the board will go to the committee chairs and say, the chair of Community Board 9 would go to.
And so the chair of the board,
Mhm.
you submit it to him or her.
Yeah, they're below the chair. The chair of the board is the head of all the committees.
Yeah, so then this person is organizing the agenda. Like this person is then taking all the stuff that's pitched by all the different committees and then going to Mark Levine and saying, this is what we.
No. The committee, it's in order. We didn't have this committee, but had we had this committee tonight, it would be whatever came from this committee would then go to the executive board of Community Board 9.
Gotcha.
They would look at it, review, oh yeah, okay, that sounds good, y'all got it put together, right? Yeah, that makes sense, okay. Then it would get on the agenda for the executive board. Okay, and once the executive board votes, done. It's a done deal, gone, over. No more conversations, so, yeah.
Then once it gets through to the executive board, then where does it go?
That's it, it's voted in with the top, at the top of the executive board then says this is what the board is going to deal with, and then the board votes.
Okay, and then if, let's say. someone's-
If you were on the board but not on the committee,
Yeah,
but you're on the board, and the committee from the executive committee says, this is what we got from the Harlem Piers committee, and this is what we support. Now the executive board said, oh, no, maybe I don't like that word there. Maybe you should put this, so you'll see if you come to me to put this, and then if everybody, see, that sounds good, then okay, then they change it to that. But finally, what comes from the full board is the final law and the final rule.
Aren't there, there's like what, 12, 13 community boards in Manhattan or something like that?
At least.
So.
Well, it's by area. This Community Board 9 is West Harlem.
Yeah.
So you have, of this way, it's 9, 10, 11, and 12. Community Board 9 is West Harlem. Community Board 10 is Central Harlem. Community Board 11, East Harlem. And then I forget what this Spanish, but that's 12. The Dominican, area up there, that's 12, yeah.
So, but everyone has their own agenda, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we all gotta talk to,
Because everybody is, like, everything here is geared to whatever is going on between 110th Street to 155th Street. Not even the 156, it stops at 155th. From St. Nicholas Avenue on the west side to the Hudson. Yep, Central Harlem now is on the east side of St. Nicholas Avenue to Madison. And it's, East Hall, that's a drop, that is East Hall. But they're going straight across, because Harlem is 110 up. So it starts at 110th Street, no matter what part of 110th Street you're on, you're in Harlem. So that's how that started. Okay?
Mhm.
Anything else you wanna know while I'm sitting here? Ask it, while I'm here and ain't nobody bugging us, you better ask me.
how many people are usually at the huge, meeting?
At the general board meeting, it's about 30 to 40 minimum. Yeah. Usually about 30 to 40 people.
And what, that meeting was really packed when I walked in, the landmark meeting. The meeting I went to on Tuesday was really packed. It was like really filled with people.
Yeah.
Is it consistently like that? Like, or?
So what happened to this committee or the people on it is, it's just, because I don't know, I only go to this committee, because I've got other things that are involved in. So I do this committee, I do executive board, I do general board, and I'm done. Just figuring out what small business needs some help, or who needs, I see something going wrong, I say, no, listen, come here, let me give you the name and I will help you reach so-and-so. Because you're in the area that we want to support and make work. Okay. After that, I'm sorry, ask me again, because I went from that to something else. You would ask me.
I was just asking like the size of most of these committee meetings, like, you know.
Well, it depends on the issue. Basically, like, you see that big meeting next door? That's the issue. Whatever they're discussing is important enough to get that many people there.
I walked in, I was 10 minutes late. I said, people were screaming already, it was great.
That place was packed, and usually that's where my meeting is. So when I speak to the chair, it's because you'll see the list of people that's supposed to be on this. The email went out to everybody that the meeting was supposed to be yesterday. Yesterday was a holiday. It's today, and the time and the everything. It went in an email. So assuming if you read your email, you know you need to be here. Yeah. So my whole thing is, everybody on that list, as far as I'm concerned, they don't need to come. Cause it's two in a row. When you gonna come? Don't bother coming, cause you're not helping economic development. The two of you sitting here has learned more than any of those people. And you definitely learned more than when you came. So now I got board members, a whole list of board members, and you didn't show up. First of all, that's the other thing too. If you're in committee, 9 times that they passed a new law that say you must come in person. You can't be zooming in. You have to be in person. And you'd be surprised what a difference it makes if you're sitting in the room with the person and if you're home watching me on TV. Doesn't work. Yeah, so the committee members are required to come to the meeting and not be there unless they have permission from the chair. They're sick or they didn't get in time, you know, some reason that would let them be out, but they're supposed to be here. You see all of them, right? So for me, I look at it and I say, well, they obviously, one or two things, they obviously feel there's no economic development in West Harlem. that there's nothing they want to do with the West Harlem Piers. Either one of those two things, or they don't see the importance of showing up. But I know, I'm older than everybody and I'm here. How old am I? Did I tell you the other day how old I was? You sure? Okay, how old am I?
Yes.
Guess, I want you to guess. I don't care how, what number, pick a number, guess, because you're not gonna make it, so guess.
71,
I didn't hear you, baby.
71.
Neighborhood. What do you think?
I was gonna say 72.
Try 88.
Wow.
Getting ready to be 89. Okay, so I was here when none of this was here. Like I was here when the Mint building had mink coats and these, well, that because Manhattan, but New York City was seriously segregated in my day. And so we used to have to walk to get off the trolley at St. Nicholas Avenue. Black people, you could just come over here, this was all Irish. And we used to walk over here in the summer and stand up and wait for the people to come with their chauffeurs to the Mink building and bring them because the Mink building had floors and floors of mink coats. I mean, you would not believe how many mink coats was in there. That's why it's the Mink building.
Mhm.
And all the rich little white people came with their limousines and they picked their mink coat they're gonna wear that night, and then they sent the coats back at night with the chauffeurs. But when Jerry and I went in there, I was Jerry Salamat is the people over there now. I said, Jerry, you know, we are good friends. I come in this mink building with you. It smelled from outside. All the minks in there had rotted. Literally rot. I didn't even know fur could rot like that. But Jerry and Scott, my boys, Jerry and Scott really, really are. Because they started in a little apartment across the street. There's a building, apartment building right across. They started in there. They lived in there originally, and their office was in the basement.
No, they own the building.
Yep, the block. They owned the damn block. Because yeah, I've been with them from the very beginning, and they have come a long way. And I had said to them, they were doing stuff, I don't know, with factories, some crap they were doing. I said, you want people to come up here to this crazy name, let's, act like you know who you are and get it. So I was fighting with them, so now if some other name besides the name, not the name, was something that sounded terrible, I can't remember the time. But it wasn't going to bring anybody there. Nobody wanted their address there. No, you pay for a desk if your address was 13 Wall Street, which I have a few friends that did for years. They had a desk, but the address was 13 Wall Street. And that was the address for their business office. And they had the Wall Street people had a separate area for meeting and conferences. So you wouldn't even know they didn't have a big office because you're meeting them in the conference. I mean, look. If you know how to set it up, that's how it was. You could be on Wall Street, no problem. Room wouldn't be big room wouldn't be that big. Where you were sitting, because you're sitting like how you sitting, and then I'm sitting here, and that's my office here. That's how it was in the good old days. But anyway, y'all, since we are so productive at this meeting, and I thank you both. I would suggest you just is 5 minutes to 8, okay. We come on the third Thursday,
November 20th,
whatever it is, the third Thursday to the forum, because that's the full meeting. And you see everybody report the police reports, and everybody reports to the general board, various organizations and things.
And actually, last question, but I want to see the other meeting too. How many people are on the board?
I don't know. I don't know. Now that you ask, I have no idea. I have no idea. What's that, the sign-in sheet? Did they sign? Nobody came, that's why. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute, the visitors, the public members.
Right here.
Wait. Right. Oh, this is the guest, right? Oh, I'm sorry, baby, we used to all be on one, now I feel.
Yeah, so Mateen was the member who was in here in person last week. And yeah,
Routine was, yes, he was here last week,
yeah,
but I have that sign-in sheet, it's this week.
yes.
Yeah, I have that one, yes. All right, gentlemen, I think we could, well, Lisa can't go anywhere. She's got to wait till they close the meeting over there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it was too hard.
This is really. Audrey, why don't I think it's go ahead and anything?
It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too. And I will see you the third Thursday, right? Right there, yeah, come here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, see you here. What's your name again, sweetheart?
Brandon.
Oh, you right at the clock. I'm looking all over for you. Okay, ring the bell, ring the bell. No, to your right.
Right.
See it? Ring the bell and now the door open. Thank you, you're welcome to that. Okay. And in charge, okay, all right. You good? Yeah. Good night. Good night. Let me stop for recording. I just thought you should come and know that I'm getting ready to leave.
Saying you didn't, you wanted to get home, because it was gonna get cold.
Well, I'm on my way out. It was a bit, sometimes this is what
Well, you can go next door if you want,
Why? What's going on next door that I want to know about?
landmarks.
No. I can go across the street because I do.
Jada Williams is still here, did you say her name? Jada, she's a guest.
No.
Jada, would you like to share a few words with us before we adjourn?
No. That was a good meeting.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
with an organization called Gia's Coop. Our goal is sustainability in New York and eventually the world. So I just came here to learn about what you guys are doing and like what I've never been to a community board meeting, so I just wanted to know like what the locals are doing, what the local government is doing. So I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, and if there's any further assistance that you need, don't hesitate to contact us. You can find our contact information on our website at www.cb9m.org.
Thank you so much. I wanted to come in sometime during this week or next week to like talk more. Would that be okay?
That would be great, but this week is kind of busy, so if you come, if I'm busy, I have to apologize, but I'd love to meet you in person.
No, next week is fine too. Whenever you're available, definitely.
Well, you can shoot me an email again, just visit our website
I like that.
for the
bag.
email address,
You know what?
and feel
I
free.
got mine. I put mine.
Okay, perfect. What was your name?
Use the Prince, I'm the district
I'm a-
manager, and this young lady sitting
Yeah,
here
that's me.
is Marita Dunn. She's co-chair of the Economic Development West Harlem Piers Committee.
Wow. How long have you guys been doing this?
Since community boards have been in
That's right.
existence,
That's crazy. Wow.
long before you were born in the 70s.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Geez, okay.
Board started in 77, 76.
I even thought before that,
Yeah.
but you would know.
If you want to look through Wikipedia, you should find some information.
Yeah,
I think
you will.
Mayor Dean or Bean. See, I don't even, Mayor Bean was the mayor. You can do a little research.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to know as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It was nice talking to you ladies, and I hope
Likewise.
to see you again. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Is the other meeting over?
No,